Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favorite Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Friday, April 7th, 2023. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. So take control of your thoughts. Don't just sit around thinking about all the things that does not serve you. Think about the things that give you joy. Think about the things that give you peace. Think about the things that help you to be a better person. Because focusing on the negative things, it's not healthy. I know sometimes, we all get little crazy thoughts, but you gotta focus on what's good and just hour by hour, minute by minute, just focus on what is good. Focus on the things that just give you a smile. It's better than focusing on the things that drown your spirit into a place you don't need to be in. So focus on what is good. Happy Friday. It is the weekend, and I am so happy about that. I do have an inspirational quote for you, but before I get into that, I would like to remind you to pray. If you are out there traveling about, make sure you are keeping yourself safe, doing your part to just be safe. Use the hand sanitizer. And if you have to wear your mask for any reason, do that too, because guess what? Germs are germs, and we still have to keep ourselves safe. We still have to do our part to keep our family members safe, and just do what you have to do. Well, also I want to remind you, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor. And if you're not comfortable giving on the app, then please contact me at sbfavor@yahoo.com, and I will provide instructions for you to give. I will soon be giving out an address. If you would like to send me something, if you would like to send donations there, I will be giving out an address soon so that you can do that as well. Well, I have an inspirational quote for you, and my inspirational quote is: rid what does not serve you absolute peace. Don't justify garbage that will only send you backwards. I am going to read that again. Rid what does not serve you absolute peace. Stop justifying what is garbage that will only send you backwards. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about relationships and conversations, people, places, and things that it does not serve you peace. You know that certain relationships do not serve you peace. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to keep the peace, no matter how much you try to do what is right, it does not serve you peace. And if you're one of those people, you justify why certain things go wrong in a relationship, and you justify this, and you justify the least to the greatest, guess what? You are setting yourself up to go backwards. And the reason why I say you're setting yourself up to go backwards is because all the work that you have done on yourself, you're setting yourself up to go backwards if you don't rid relationships, people, places, and things that don't serve you peace. We have to live a life filled with quality. And we can only experience that quality when we make the right choices. And I know sometimes when it comes to family and people that we have known for a long time, some people say, oh, well, that's family and that's my friend of 20 years. Well, guess what? Seasons change. And if that person is not serving you peace, then I would rid the relationship. If that environment or that place or whatever it is in your life that's not serving you peace, you have to get rid of it. Now, I know listeners, you're going to make your own choices. I am not telling you what to do. This is an inspirational podcast. And what I do is I share all different types of views and topics that are positive and things that help us to just think about what is good or what is better or what is right. Of course, yes, I am a Bible believing woman. But at the same time that I believe in the Bible, guess what? I'm not a religious crazy fool. I am a person of a sound mind. We got to make sense out of things. God doesn't want us to love people to the point where we are being abused. God doesn't want us to love people to the point where they are mistreating us constantly, consistently, and they are not accountable. So rid what does not serve you absolute peace. Why stay in a relationship or a situation or an environment and there's no peace for you there? Obviously, if there's no peace, then I believe that's God's way of telling you that his grace is not even present if you don't have peace. I believe that when we experience different types of relationships on different levels with different types of people, there's always going to be some type of peace present. Why? Because it is God's will and is his heart and his mind and his thoughts for you to walk in constant, consistent peace. If you are constantly in a situation with someone and there is always some type of toxic circumstance rising from something they said or something they did, and there's never peace, that's a problem. That's a problem because it is the will of God that we walk in peace. Now, walking in peace is an act of your will, right? Because it starts with the peace that you have with yourself, and the peace that you have with yourself, you have with God, and the peace that you have with God, you make that same peace with others. But if someone is in your environment, someone in your life, someone you're in a relationship with, and they are constantly bringing you situations and circumstances and problems that constantly are not peaceful, now you have to think about whether or not that environment or that person, place, or thing, whether or not it's for you. You have to think about that. Like I said, when we have a long history with friends and family members, sometimes we think, I'm supposed to be in their life. No, because if it's not serving you peace, why would you stay? If it's not serving you peace, why would you keep trying if there's no agreement to have peace? Relationships are two sides. It's two sides to a relationship. If you want peace, the other person has to want peace too. Now, if you want peace and you're doing the work for peace and the other person is not doing the work for peace, what does that say? Does it say that you should stay and be abused and they can do whatever they want to you and you're supposed to just live in a fantasy that you have peace with this person and you don't? Come on now. That's not what is good for you. So think about this. You can have constant peace in your life by the choices you make. And also being honest about what you experience with the people that you come in contact with. Being honest. And also, if you're one of those people and you're not exemplifying and making an effort to keep the peace, then you need to start today. You need to be accountable for your actions and evaluate what is causing you to not walk in peace or not be peaceful with others. Peace is something that we all need for our health and wellness, our mental state, and just to live in harmony with being good every single day. And, we need peace. We have to walk in peace. So rid what does not serve you absolute peace. Personally, I have decided to cut relationships off that does not serve me absolute peace. And the question some might ask, they might ask, oh, well, do you think you're walking in love? Absolutely, I'm walking in love. Absolutely. I'm walking in love because I'm loving myself enough to say, you know what? If friends or family or co-workers are not serving me peace, and it's a constant disruption of my peace, then I don't need it. Now, I'm not talking about just cutting off relationships and ridding relationships that it's peace there, but the person is not doing what you want them to do. I'm not talking about that, because sometimes when you say things, people get it twisted. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about you not doing your part and the other person is doing their part and you feel like they're not doing what you want them to do and now they are the problem to you. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you are experiencing a lack of peace, whether it be in a person, place, or thing, whatever it is, rid it. Get rid of it. Because it's not serving you what you need to be the best person you can be. Sometimes when something is uncomfortable to us, if a relationship or if we are in an environment and it's uncomfortable to us, sometimes you just have to pray and find out why. Why is it uncomfortable? Have that conversation in prayer. Have that conversation with someone you trust and sort out why it's uncomfortable. Why? But if you are experiencing a lack of or disruption of your peace constantly, then you need to check and evaluate whether or not you should rid that relationship. It is vitally important every single day that we walk in constant peace. Sometimes in relationships, people repetitively do the same things over and over. They're not accountable for their actions. They say things that are harmful and hurtful, and it is something we all have done to a certain point. And what I mean by that is sometimes we all say the wrong things. But I'm talking about someone that they're not accountable for their actions. They say things and they're repetitively over and over and over and over. So much so that you have to decide, okay, enough is enough. Because saying something wrong and you're accountable for it, or if you think the wrong way about somebody and you're accountable for it and you talk it out, that's different. But if you are in a relationship with someone and they are constantly, flagrantly doing the same thing once a year, twice a year, 3 times a month, once a month, whatever, they're doing the same thing over and over and they're not accountable and they are not evaluating themselves to grow, to learn, to be better. And they don't even care about the relationship to have a conversation with you. And this person says that they love you. This could be your so-called best friend. This could be your longtime school friend. This could be your sister, your brother, whoever. There's no peace. Every relationship can operate at a level of high quality. How? When people communicate, it doesn't mean you have to communicate perfectly. It means communicate to be accountable, communicate to evaluate yourself, to be honest, communicate to know what you have to do and appropriate in that relationship. And when you do that, there can be peace, consistent peace. The issue that a lot of people have in relationships on all levels and different kinds is people are not accountable. When something happens, the first thing a person says is, this is what they did to me. This is how they said it to me. This is how they made me feel. Well, what about being accountable for yourself to the point where you demonstrate the peace first and give that person the opportunity to apologize, or give that person the opportunity to evaluate themselves. But in the process, you evaluate yourself. Evaluate what you're thinking, your accusations. Evaluate whether or not you are the one that is not demonstrating peace. We have to constantly, every single day, be honest with ourselves and evaluate where we are mentally and spiritually. When you are honest with yourself and when you evaluate where you are, then you can be in the position to fix what possibly could be wrong. So, do your part to demonstrate peace and stay in harmony with all people, and rid what does not serve you absolute peace. That is my inspirational quote for today. And I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. I will be doing another episode tomorrow. I am considering coming on 3 times a week. I know I've said some things in the past and I said, I'm gonna do this and do that. Well, life gets in the way and then plans change. But I'm considering doing at least 3 episodes a week. And I'm going to be, of course, doing some really, 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 really good topics. I want to dig in more into relationships and attitude, because I think that when we evaluate ourselves and if we present the best part of ourselves to others, then we can influence somebody else to be better. So I thank you, listeners, for taking the time to tune in to me today. And make sure you give to the podcast. Give to the podcast. Be a blessing and give to the podcast. You can give at Cash App, $SB Favor. And like I said earlier, if you are not comfortable giving on the app, then shoot me an email at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. Tripping over my words a little bit, but that's okay. Shoot me an email and I can give you instructions on how to give. So, I do have a Venmo account. That's at SB Favor as well. At SB as in boy, FAVOR. And once again, I appreciate you for tuning in to listen to the podcast. Make sure you share this podcast with others. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I also have a YouTube and TikTok handle. There is inspirational content there. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. I will be doing more videos. Click like, leave me some feedback, and like I said, share the podcast with others. Your support is very, very important to me. And just like you need encouragement, I need encouragement too. So, support the podcast. Let me know what you think. And for those of you that have sent me emails and sent donations, I appreciate all of your feedback, all of your donations, and I just appreciate your support overall. I'm looking forward to doing a lot with this podcast, and your support is very, very important. So, like I said, subscribe to me wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. Click like and share this podcast with others. I appreciate you so much, and you have a good day.